What is my ideal Chelsea's 25-man squad for next season's Premier League? Well, that's what I'm going to go through in this video. I know this current season hasn't even finished yet, but I just want to give you my early thoughts. If there aren't any players that I address in this that aren't in the squad, you just got to assume that I've either sold them or sent them out on loan. And I have done a video where I've done a keep sell loan previously if you want to check that out. But yeah, let me know your thoughts after you've heard mine. Let me know your squads in the comment sections. I'd love to hear it. But let's go through my squad for next Premier League season. I think the best place to start, obviously, is just in goal. This is the outline of the squad that I've done on a beautiful Excel sheet so you can see what we're going to go through in the rest of this video. But starting in goal, I've got this very simply down. As my first keeper, I've got Petrovic. Then we've got Jorgensen as the second keeper and Bettinelli as the third. I think Petrovic has been absolutely fantastic out on loan in Strasbourg this season. So we have to bring him back and we have to give him that #1 spot because he was really solid for me last season. And on top of that, he's improved his distribution. He looks overall a much better keeper. And I think he just deserves that #1 spot. Have a whole season looking like that. I think Jorgensen has been shaky, but he's young and he has got a bit more potential than someone like Robert Sanchez, for example. So we have to give him #2. And then Bettinelli is just the absolute perfect third choice keeper. I think he takes up one of those homegrown spots and he just doesn't care about the fact that he's not going to play. So those are my three keepers for the upcoming season. I can't see any worries about that, any debates. Those have to be it, and I'll be very, very happy with that. Moving into our full back positions, as you can see, at the right back position, we have Reece James and Malo Gusto, and the left back position, we only have one left back in Marc Cucurella. Now, the reason for this, I know you might be worrying, thinking, how are we going to go through a season when we're going to try and push for the Premier League, we're going to try and push for the top four without a backup left back? That seems insane to me. Now, I'm doing this under the assumption that Enzo Maresca is our manager next season. It's something I want. Some of you might not want that, but that is the assumption I'm going under. And I think Marc Cucurella has just enough capabilities to do that. He's so consistent. He's never injured. And even if he did get injured or he had to take a couple of games out, I think we have the facilities to have backup players. I think we've seen a lot of the time, we've seen Reece James fill in that left back role or that left kind of centre back role. We've seen Gusto able to play there. We have some central centre backs that are able to play out on the left if needs be. The thing about Maresca's system with the way that Cucurella plays is it is almost kind of like a midfielder at left back. He bombs up so much, he attacks so much, so there isn't too much to worry about in that regard. So I think there's backup there. In terms of the right back positions, I know Maresca has come out and said that he likes Reece James in midfield, but fundamentally, I'm going to keep him in that right back role because I think he will start to play there a lot more and he will just invert heavily into midfield. But when we go into the midfielders later on in this video, you'll see we don't need Reece James in that midfield role. We need him at right back. So hopefully Maresca will start to just see some sense and start playing him there more consistently. And Malo Gusto, I think, is not having the best season compared to the season before, but I think he is a fantastic player to have in the squad and he's someone that's absolutely necessary. Now, let's just push straight into the centre-backs because that is going to just link into our full-back position. So, for the centre-backs role, we have our first signing that I would like to make in there. So, as you can see, we have our starter centre-backs of Jonathan Tah and Levi Colwill. Now, Tah can be one of two players for me. It could be Jonathan Tah, who's coming on the free from the Bundesliga, from Bayer Leverkusen. He'd be a fantastic signing. He's got that experience that every Chelsea fan wants in that back or centre back. He's a big figure. He's good at ball playing. He's got pretty much everything that we need. Now, today, just before recording this video, there has been links that we are very close. We're the leaders in the race for Dean Huijsen, the Bournemouth centre-back. So that would be absolutely fantastic. So that Jonathan Tah position that you can see there at right centre-back could also be Dean Huijsen. What I'm just saying is I'm reserving that for a new signing. Now, if we look at the other centre-backs, we have Fofana as the backup. Now, Fofana I really like, and I think he can be fantastic with Colwill, but he is so injury prone. He's worse than Reece James, and in my eyes, the thing with Reece James is I can accept his injury proneness because he has a catalogue where I can go, I can bank on you, I can use you as a player, I can rely on you as someone that I really want to see as a good player. The issue is Fofana, he shows glimpses of being great, and he's a great partner with Colwill, but availability is the best ability, and he just doesn't have that at the moment, so we have to get that second centre-back in to start alongside Levi Colwill. We have Trevor Chalobah, who I really hope the owners don't sell because he's a fantastic player. He loves the badge. He plays for the badge. He's just a class player, and I think he's so good as a backup centre-back. And then we have Josh Achipong. The magic of Josh Achipong is he is so versatile. He's a young player. He wants to play anywhere he can. He just wants to play for the team. He can fill in left back, can fill in a right back, and he could do everything. Now, the people you're missing from here, Disasi, we got to sell him. I think he also let City score that winner by letting Doku go through. So he's not even playing for Chelsea and he's hindering us. So he has to go. I do kind of like him, but he has to go. Then Badiashile, I'm gonna say go. I'd rather keep players like Chalobah and Achibong, players that know the club and play for the club, than someone just because they're left-footed. And then the other one that's going is Vega. I just don't think I can allow him to be in the squad. I think he might just have to go for a bit of cash, and it's a bit of a shame because he could be a good versatile player. There just aren't enough positions in the squad, as we can see. So yeah, that is my goalkeeper and defenders for next season. I like it quite a lot. Just before the rest of the squad, if you're enjoying the video, it'd mean the world if you could hit a like and hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed the video. As we move into the midfield now, this is something I'm genuinely very excited about. We have in our more defensive midfielder number 6 role, we have Caicedo, Lavia and Leslie Ugochukwu. And then in the other 2 roles, in the more centre mid role, we have Enzo Fernandez and we have Santos, who's obviously coming back from a loan at Strasbourg. Now, starting with the 6 roles, we have Caicedo, Lavia and Ugochukwu. Caicedo, probably our player of the season, most important player. He's easy in there. Lavia is the backup. Now, he is very injury prone, just like Fofana. He is a fantastic player when he plays, but he just doesn't have that catalogue for me to have full faith in him. So we need to definitely have some backups. And that is why I want Leslie Ugochukwu in the squad. He has had a decent campaign with Southampton. I think he's really, really good to call upon if we need to close the game out, if we need in earlier kind of cup games, those kind of things. He's absolutely perfect for. Gives Caicedo a bit of a rest, and it means that when Lavia is injured, which he probably will be because he continuously gets injured, we have a backup just to say to Caicedo, look, you can have a rest. And then obviously Lavia can also be an option for Enzo Fernandez. But we have Santos coming in. He has had the most incredible season for Strasbourg, looking genuinely unbelievable. So I can't wait to see Enzo and Santos rotate. I think Santos will come in and he'll start playing football. It'd be great to see him in the Club World Cup, but he looks like a fantastic player, and he's someone that I can't wait to see switch around with Enzo Fernandez. Those two are just fantastic 8s, and I think in front of Caicedo, Lavia, Ugochukwu, they're going to absolutely cook. And then we're just going to move into the number 10 role. We only really have Cole Palmer, and then we have Estavio as the backup. Cole Palmer is our main man. He's our number 10. He barely gets injured. We absolutely love him. And he's just in a bit of a down spell at the moment, but he'll be back playing incredible football next season. Now, the backup 10, of course, is Estavio. I thought he was a right winger, but his agents come out and said that he's going to be playing more in a 10 for Chelsea, hopefully. The thing with Estavio is I think people need to actually calm down about him. People have got their hopes up so aggressively about him, being like, he's going to come to the Prem, he's going to cook. Let me tell you for a fact, Estavio is not going to come to the Premier League and become this absolute world beater. He will probably spend a lot of the season on the bench, and when he does play, I think he'll struggle with the physicality, and it will be a completely different ballgame from the Brazilian league. Does that mean I think he's not going to be a good player for Chelsea? Absolutely not. I think in the next kind of 5 years, he will be unbelievable. He's so incredibly talented. He's so skillful. But I think it'll be a bit of a wake-up call for people when we see him in the Premier League and people go, Jesus, this is a different league. He's going to be a fantastic backup. So I think he's going to be a great backup for Palmer, and I think he's going to be a great backup for the wingers if we need in different competitions based on injuries. Next up, we have the exciting position of our wingers. Now, on the left wing, you can see we have another signing position. I've put Williams there, the man from Bilbao. He's incredible talent, and hopefully we can get him. He's kind of maybe my number 1 spot for that. Obviously, an unrealistic target for that would be Rodrigo from Real Madrid, but obviously with the wages, the wage structure we have, that would be very difficult to maybe pull off. But I think he could be someone good. So let's just put Williams there as kind of the anchor of a new signing, a left winger spot. And then back up to that, we have Jadon Sancho, who I would buy from Man United for 25 million. And then we have Tyreek George. The reason I buy Jadon Sancho is just because I think 25 million for a player of his caliber is absolutely fantastic. So it would be stupid not to. And Tyreek George is so impressive. I don't want to send him out alone. I'd rather have him as one of the backup wingers and watch him progress as a youngster underneath a Williams and a Sancho, for example. Then on the right wing, obviously we have Noni Madueke, who would be my starting right winger for next season. I think he's going to explode next season. I think he's a fantastic player. And then we have Pedro Neto as the backup there. Now, the thing with Madueke, Neto, Williams, Sancho and George, there's rotation there. I think for me, the starters would be a brand new left winger and Noni Madueke, and then Neto, Sancho and George can play depending on the fixtures, whether it's a cup game, whether we need to do a rotation. If we're playing a low block, we more likely may want to play someone like Jadon Sancho. If we're playing a counter-attacking team, we may need to play Pedro Neto to just bomb down those wings and cause some absolute pressure. We obviously have seen we can play George and Neto up front if need be. So those are my kind of options. I think instead of Williams, we could be looking at loads of different players. Yeah, the Rodrigo's, then we could go down to Semenyo from Bournemouth, loads of different options. But I think we have absolutely stacked forwards. And the reason we're maybe lighter on defence in left-back position and we have those 5 centre-backs maybe instead of 6 is because I'd rather have that massive depth in the 10 and in those winger positions, especially if someone like Palmer gets injured, then we can just play a 4-3-3 more with kind of 3 up top. Now, last position that we need to talk about, of course, is striker. And I've gone for Jackson and Delap. I think Delap for me is the signing I want to make. Unless we can get someone like Isaac, which would be absolutely ridiculous, Delap's the player I really want to see playing for Chelsea Football Club because I think he is very different to Jackson, but they're kind of on the same level, if that makes sense. Because there's no point signing someone that is similar to Jackson and on a roughly same level to me. That makes no sense because you're basically saying to Jackson, I don't have enough faith in you, so we're just going to get a same version of you that hopefully can do a bit better. Thing with Delap is we can use him in different games. The ability to play Jackson for 60 minutes, then bring someone Delap on is unbelievable, and vice versa. Having Delap play for 60, 70 minutes, tire someone out, and then Nicholas Jackson come on with his incredible runs and movement. Honestly, I think that they're both at the same level of their career where they can just better each other and be really competitive, and hopefully we can have an unbelievable partnership. And sometimes, when in doubt, maybe we can go to 4-4-2. Jackson can play off Delap. That's something that I would really like to potentially see in the future. So this is the 25-man squad that I've decided on and I've finished on. I think it looks really, really good. We have to do a lot of selling. We have to do a lot of sending out on loan, but I'm absolutely prepared for that. And I think the owners are really good at that. I think we can get a lot of money for that. The players we get from selling and loaning will 100% make up for buying either Tara or Hoyson at centre-back, either Williams or a Rodrigo right at left wing, and a Delap up front. I think it's a really strong squad. I'd love to hear your squads in the comment section, and hit subscribe if you enjoy the content. It would absolutely mean the world. But yeah, thanks for watching, and bye-bye.